In a fiery speech that has sent shockwaves through diplomatic circles, former President Donald Trump took to the stage with his signature bravado, addressing a packed room of reporters, diplomats, and political analysts. The atmosphere was electric, with anticipation thick in the air, as Trump prepared to make a statement that would reverberate far beyond the walls of the press conference. Cameras flashed, pens scribbled, and the world watched as he began to speak, his words carrying the weight of international consequence. With a tone that oscillated between outrage and disappointment, Trump publicly exposed what he described as Trinidad's true motives, igniting a firestorm of controversy. He accused the Caribbean nation of betraying the trust of the United States, a country that has long considered Trinidad a strategic partner in the region. The American public, already on edge due to recent global tensions, reacted with a mixture of disbelief and anger. Social media platforms exploded with heated debates, hashtags trended worldwide, and political commentators scrambled to analyze the implications of Trump's bombshell revelation. The American flag, usually a symbol of unity and strength, seemed to wave with a new sense of urgency, while the Trinidadian flag, displayed side by side, now appeared as a symbol of fractured alliances. Trump's allegations centered on a clandestine deal that accords Jurya Kunchar Dingandirting Antu Jurya Kuya Turden him Inshen had been in the works for months, if not years. He claimed that while Trinidad's leaders continued to publicly affirm their commitment to the United States, behind closed doors they were fast-tracking a massive, multi-billion-dollar energy and port development agreement with a nation widely regarded as a U.S. adversary. The details, as Trump laid them out, were staggering. New port facilities capable of handling unprecedented volumes of cargo, state-of-the-art oil and gas refineries, and a network of infrastructure that would dramatically shift the balance of economic power in the region. Satellite images and leaked documents, he said, provided irrefutable evidence of Trinidad's duplicity. The handshake between Trinidadian officials and their foreign counterparts, captured in a now viral photograph, became the defining image of what Trump called the greatest betrayal in modern Caribbean history. The fallout was immediate and intense. In Washington, senior officials convened emergency meetings to assess the potential impact on U.S. interests in the Caribbean and beyond. The State Department issued a strongly worded statement expressing deep disappointment and concern over Trinidad's actions. Meanwhile, Trinidad's government scrambled to contain the damage, issuing public denials and insisting that their dealings were above board and in the best interest of their people. International summits grew tense, with American diplomats casting wary glances at their Trinidadian counterparts, and the sense of betrayal was palpable. Editorials in major newspapers questioned the future of U.S.-Trinidad relations, while protesters gathered outside embassies in both countries, demanding accountability and transparency. The world watched as a once stable alliance teetered on the brink, and the phrase "stab in the back" echoed through the halls of power, a stark reminder of how quickly trust can be shattered on the global stage. At the heart of this unfolding story lies the ambitious construction of a deep-water port, a project that has rapidly become the focal point of international scrutiny and intrigue. Rising from what was once a quiet stretch of coastline, the port is being built on a scale and with a level of sophistication that far surpasses anything previously seen in the region. The project is not only massive in its physical footprint, but also in its implications for the balance of power in the hemisphere. Financed and engineered by a foreign rival, the port's development has been shrouded in secrecy, with only glimpses of its true purpose emerging through satellite imagery and the occasional official statement. The involvement of foreign engineers, working side by side with local officials and laborers, has raised eyebrows among regional observers, who question the motivations behind such a significant investment in infrastructure. The blueprints, when leaked, reveal berths capable of accommodating the world's largest cargo ships, but also, more ominously, the kind of deep-water docking facilities that could easily serve military vessels. As construction continues at a breakneck pace, the port's towering cranes and sprawling docks have become a symbol of both progress and potential peril, casting a long shadow over the surrounding communities and the broader geopolitical landscape. U.S. intelligence analysts, monitoring the site with a combination of satellite surveillance, intercepted communications, and on-the-ground sources, have reached a sobering conclusion. The port is not merely a commercial venture. Its design and construction standards far exceed what would be necessary for civilian shipping alone. The reinforced piers, expansive fuel storage tanks, and advanced communications arrays all point to a dual-use facility. One that can seamlessly transition from handling commercial cargo to supporting military operations. The presence of military-grade radar installations and secure command centers, hidden among the more innocuous shipping offices, has only deepened suspicions. In confidential briefings, analysts have confirmed that the port is fully capable of hosting military vessels, including destroyers, submarines, and even aircraft carriers. The infrastructure is robust enough to support rapid resupply, maintenance, and refueling operations, making it an ideal forward operating base for a foreign navy. The arrival of naval ships at the newly built harbor, under the watchful eyes of armed security personnel, has sent a clear message. This is no ordinary port. The blending of commercial and military assets has created a complex and potentially volatile situation, one that has not gone unnoticed by the highest levels of the U.S. government. The strategic significance of this port cannot be overstated. Located just a few hundred miles from the American coastline, it occupies a position of extraordinary leverage. What might have once been hailed as a triumph of economic development is now being recast as a direct and immediate threat to U.S. national security. The proximity of the port to major shipping lanes, energy infrastructure, and even key military installations on the mainland has set off alarm bells in Washington and beyond. Intelligence reports warn that in the event of a crisis, the port could serve as a staging ground for rapid military deployments, surveillance operations, or even the interdiction of commercial traffic. The diplomatic fallout has been swift and severe, with high-level meetings between U.S. and regional officials growing increasingly tense. American diplomats, backed by a chorus of security experts, have pressed their counterparts for assurances that the port will not be used for military purposes. Yet, the ambiguity surrounding the project's true intent has only fueled further suspicion. News outlets across the globe have seized on the story, framing it as a test case for the future of great power competition in the Western Hemisphere. The port, once a symbol of hope for economic revitalization, now stands at the center of a geopolitical storm, its fate uncertain and its potential consequences far-reaching. The transformation of this once trusted neighbor into a potential launching pad for a rival power has sent shockwaves through the region. For decades, the relationship between the United States and its southern neighbor was built on mutual trust, shared economic interests, and a commitment to regional stability. Now, that foundation is being tested as never before. The port's looming presence has forced policymakers to confront difficult questions about sovereignty, security, and the limits of foreign influence. Local communities, caught in the crossfire of global rivalries, worry about the impact on their livelihoods and safety. Protests have erupted, with residents demanding transparency and accountability from their leaders. Meanwhile, military planners on both sides of the divide are quietly adjusting their strategies, preparing for a future in which the balance of power may shift in unpredictable ways. The deepwater port, once envisioned as a gateway to prosperity, has become a flashpoint in a new era of competition, one where the lines between friend and foe are increasingly blurred, and where the stakes could not be higher. In a dramatic escalation of rhetoric, former President Trump leveled serious accusations against the government of Trinidad, claiming that its leaders have been engaging in a calculated and duplicitous strategy on the world stage. According to Trump, Trinidad's government has not only been leveraging its unique geographic and economic position, but has also been actively orchestrating a complex diplomatic game, pitting major global powers against one another in a bid to maximize its own national interests. This, he argued, is not a matter of simple negotiation or routine diplomacy, but a deliberate effort to extract the greatest possible advantage from the world's superpowers, all while maintaining an outward appearance of neutrality and cooperation. Trump specifically alleged that Trinidad has been extracting significant concessions from the United States, using its vital energy resources and strategic location as bargaining chips. He suggested that American officials, eager to secure favorable trade deals and access to Trinidad's oil and gas reserves, have been pressured into making economic and political compromises. These concessions, Trump claimed, have included preferential trade terms, increased foreign aid, and even security cooperation agreements that benefit Trinidad disproportionately. The implication is that Trinidad's leaders have become adept at reading the shifting tides of international politics and are unafraid to use their leverage to secure tangible benefits from the world's most powerful nation. Yet, according to Trump's allegations, these dealings with the United States are only one side of the story. Behind closed doors, Trinidad's government is said to be making secret promises to America's greatest competitors, offering them preferential access to the very same resources and strategic advantages that the U.S. believes it has secured. This includes covert agreements with rival nations, such as China and Russia, who are eager to expand their influence in the Caribbean and gain a foothold near vital shipping lanes. If true, these actions would represent a sophisticated balancing act, with Trinidad playing both sides to maximize its own gain, while potentially undermining the interests of its most powerful allies. The accusations have sparked intense debate among international observers, raising questions about the true nature of Trinidad's foreign policy and the risks of great power competition in the region. The exposure isn't just about a business deal, it's an accusation of profound duplicity that has triggered a furious reevaluation of the entire United States-Trinidad relationship, with calls for immediate and severe economic consequences. To navigate this complex and ever-changing landscape of global power plays and diplomatic fallout, you need the most current information. So, hit that subscribe button and ring the notification bell so you never miss our essential guides and updates.